The Batman trilogy. Today's movie in the hallmark of Jungian iconography, what is this a symbol of? Well, it's not a symbol of anything. It is a gradation of color and light, going from white to sand brown and black. Black being dominant. And that is why, if you were in a period of incarceration, why it's important to look not at the black and the white, but the various shades of color. But I think prison is its own educational system, one I know nothing about. And I'm not even sure what I'm seeing. And that's kind of the point. Yeah, I don't know what I'm seeing, but I'm trying to see it. And to see it would be to understand it, or at least to attempt to understand it. Andrew Wyatt, right here in my backyard. Isn't that all great art does? Make you recognize what is already familiar? You just didn't realize it? Possibly. It's a thesis. Just like randomness and chaos theory. My word, it's getting so I don't even recognize myself. Well, I don't. That's probably just as good. Anyway, to comment on the Darjeeling tea that I've been drinking of late. And it has a flavor or taste that I like, as opposed to black tea or Assam or whatever these things. I'm still learning about it. I never knew I talked out of the corner of my mouth like this. Codger, I had a stroke. Anyway, I wanted to say it had the right consistency of astringency, if that's the right way to even remotely put that. It's like you have this flavor and taste, and then you have this sort of in the back of your cheeks, this sort of sensation, it's like almost sucking out of you, like a tide going out rather than a tide coming in. I guess the tide coming in would be the flavor of the tea, and the tide going out would be the pull on the back of the cheeks as it leaves the mouth, goes down the throat, whatever, you know. I wonder how Brucey's doing. I should probably give him a call. Seems like he might need it. Seems like he might need it. I don't know why I say that. First you start to take a picture of something, and then you take a picture of what you thought you were taking, and then you investigate what you're looking at and find out, well, maybe this is what I was really looking at, and maybe this will help me see what it was that I was looking at and understand what it is that I'm seeing. I'd love to be able to say that in a advanced class. Ha ha ha. Well, here's a term that's come into my mind that I've been sort of going over in my head, which I sort of like, and then I don't like it, and then I wonder what it's about. Balderdash. It seems like a lot of blunder and bluster and foolhardery, like there is in maybe poker, where you're trying to bluff. And when you don't believe it, you say balderdash. That's not right. Or shortened to just balderdash. Well, I'm getting creaky in my old age. And I don't think you should shy away from it. I think you should not quite embrace it. You need to acknowledge it, because it's just a different stage. And if people are going to start living as long as they say, 120 years, you better get used to this stage. I guess I can recall this as my little Mecca, or in America that translates to, in English, backyard. The working man's delight. I wonder if it has any relevancy to royalty. Probably not, because they probably got it thinking that they've got it sewn up and there's nothing better to learn, and they know what's best because they can buy it and they have experts telling them. And who knows, maybe it's true, but that's not the path I'm going to pursue. I think the path I'm going to pursue is trying to heal thyself. I don't know which Greek physician came up with that. I think it was a Greek physician. You can see William Morris in these leaves. I've got to go get some of his prints at the museum. There's probably something online. I don't know. I have to go buy everything. I don't even know what I would learn. I mean, these greens here are much deeper than the exact same leaves seen out here. I think if you're painting them, this would have a lot more white in it. Where is Swoon when you need her? Well, just go look her up on the internet, online. Owen, what's your mother doing? She's hanging up her clothes on the line. She's online. Chuckle, chuckle, Owen. Chuckle, chuckle. Remember, the eyes of the world are looking down. Always. Even when you just imagine them. There's the horror. Anuses and T-rings, tree rings. I can just appreciate the changes in color. It's gone from purple and blue to brown and brown, gray, brown. And then you pull back and it's got a whole other rationale of color that make it up. I think the only sense it makes to go to Packard is if you're a deep citizen of Brooklyn, almost Brooklyn Heights. But then there's a lot about Brooklyn I don't know. But if you have deep roots or meaning in whatever is principle in Brooklyn, the courts, I think it makes perfect sense. I mean, this shot in the camera looks practically nondescript and fascinating to my naked eye. In fact, you can't really convey the two. You can't convey the two. Well, at least I'm looking at an electronic image as opposed to my eye seeing it. And, you know, I'm only stating the obvious again. Fescule, I suspect, not Kentucky blue. Could be a mixture though, but you know, the subtleties of green that I see with my eye are rendered just the green and brown with the camera. That I really don't understand, and make me think less about photography, because they can't convey the richness of nature, as has often been written about in photographic circles, going back to Henry Peach Robinson, I believe. I mean, did that just happen? These colors change before our eyes and continue to change? It's almost as if a rainbow was taking place and we weren't even noticing it. And there's like a movie in there. I have no idea what it is. I have no idea. It's not the most aesthetic of building materials. And Carolyn has swept the silence in by turning off the sprinkler. Silly business, this photography. The eye is a much more wonderful instrument than the camera any day. Look, just watch the change as you go from light to dark. I mean, that's just marvelous. And that's a product of the camera. I suppose the camera and the eye. And then you sort of back up and you wonder what the engineers were thinking. I'm not so sure I want to leave it in their hands. Be an interesting discussion, though. Maybe that's who we should bring together, engineers and artists, and have a debate. Well, might be past the full moon. It's like a balloon. Every neighborhood has its prison, and this is ours. Southwestern pottery. Can you read the inscription? Mesa Verde in my backyard. This would be the garbage refuge where they discarded everything in the back off the rear of the plateau, and you can see the beginning of some of the more or less monumental structures that made up the village. Here we have a touch of the great Mayan blue. Mayan blue. Here we are in Mexico. Gonna go in and have our taco.
Walk it outside.